I'm excited to have back on the show Kristin Marquet, who is the owner and creative director of Marquet Media LLC. And she's also an accomplished author, publicist, and founder of Femme Founder. And she is really into fitness. And this is what we'll be talking today. How does she fit fitness into her busy lifestyle? Welcome back, Kristen.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah. So, how do you do it? I mean, you wear many hats. I just, for the viewers and listeners out there who are entrepreneurs or, who want to be entrepreneur, what does it look like?
Well, I start my day pretty early. I end my day pretty early. But, I usually will work out for the first hour of the day. If I have more time, I'll do something a little bit longer, but it's Monday through Friday. And then usually Saturdays, if it's nice out, my husband and I will do a longer walk. And then Sundays, I usually do endurance runs, which are usually 90 minutes to 2 hours. It depends on also the weather and, you know, uh, if I can get out and how many people are outside. That's the other thing. But I just do it. There are days where I don't feel like doing it. Trust me. But I think that if I don't end up working out consistently for, a week or 2 weeks, I just kind of feel off kilter. But really it's waking up early, scheduling it in, and it helps set the tone for the rest of my day.
Yeah, so it's sort of like, making your appointment with yourself. And it's to get into a healthy habit. So when you say when some days you don't feel like it, what is it that gets you out the door?
Um, it's like self-motivation, self-coercion, and a lot of the times I think it's just the anticipation of being able to go for a run or lift weights or whatever. I find the anticipation to be worse than the actual task. And, the longer you procrastinate, the worse the anticipation is going to get. So if you can not procrastinate and just get your butt in gear, it's going to be a lot easier to do, right?
Yeah, so it's like, I guess, like brushing your teeth. It's like you think of it that way. It's sort of, it'll be easier. It's like psychologically to get out there and do it. The
Hmm.
first minutes,
Oh,
is
absolutely.
but it's sort of like when I was saying you're wearing many hats, like, is there a time of day that you prefer? I know you say mornings you like to do your runs, but say like you're on a deadline, would you run like in the afternoon or would you do something else? Like, would you do like weights instead or, uh,
That-
would you change
that-
it up?
That's a really good question. If I have a deadline, then I will move my run or my workout to the afternoon or evening. Um, but I generally try and get longer deadlines.
Yeah.
I'm not really, I don't do well when I have a ton of things that I have to get done in a very short amount of time. So I like to try and plan out my schedule of my day and give me enough of a buffer where I can get everything done. So I'm not completely stressed out, like I had friends in college and, my husband, for example, he thrives under pressure. If he has to write a mediation statement, that's 25 pages long, he'll start it the night before. And that keeps him going. That for me would be too anxiety inducing. I would have to start it like the minute I found out about it because I'm also the person that rewrites and writes and rewrites and redesigns and re-strategizes. It's not like a one and done. My brain isn't the type of person to be one and done, work on one thing and then move to the next. Like I revise and revise and revise and probably more to my detriment than anything
Mhm.
else. But it's just the way I am, that's the way I've been since I've been a kid.
Yes, no, it's inspiring. And what do you love most about working out?
Um, you know, I think afterwards, just feeling a sense of accomplishment and also having more energy, and just being able to think more clearly. I mean, there's so many benefits. And it's for me, it's a confluence of those three things.
Yes, and as an entrepreneur, Uber entrepreneur, um, I mean, it really helps with when you do work out. It helps with your other sides of your life, like your as an entrepreneur, I should say, and other areas in your life. You're more calm. You feel you can deal with stress better. There's just a mentally as well. It helps.
Absolutely. I fully agree.
Yes. And so tell us, do you have like a favorite running gear? Like how do you work out in the winter? Like,
That's actually a really good question. I haven't really put much thought into it. I mean, I'm a devout Nike shoe runner. Um, but that just happened within the last 10 years. When I would run when I was younger, when I was in school, and even in my 20s, I would use New Balance or Saucony. But those just my feet have changed. They just don't give me the support that I need. In terms of winter workout gear, anything moisture wicking, generally anything by Vuori is great, to prevent chafing because running in the winter could suck.
it's
Um,
painful.
oh Jesus, yeah, it can be really painful. And during the summer, it's more of just more Vuori, but just lighter layers, stuff that's moisture wicking. If it's really humid outside, then I'll hop on the treadmill, or try to avoid going outside because our summers could be really brutal here in New York.
Yes, and it's also like being careful, right?
Mhm.
Slipping and falling, listening to your body, and just taking baby steps. But for those who are learning to run or want to learn to run, any advice or tips you can share?
Yeah, just take it slow. I mean, if you're not a runner, or you haven't been involved in fitness and you want to get involved, kind of start transitioning into a healthy lifestyle, I mean, go easy on yourself and start with taking walks. Do some brisk walking in between, and then just work up your energy and your endurance. And, at some point, you'll be able to run faster. Maybe you'll have a 10-minute mile, which is actually really good, especially for people that are in our age group, that are not runners. I mean, even for people that are runners, right? I think that that's actually a pretty decent time. But just take it slowly and listen to your body, and, don't condemn yourself or beat yourself up if, you can't run a mile, because, we all started from somewhere, you know?
Exactly. And which leads me to the next question. How important is nutrition? You got to fuel the body, right? You're out there running 10 miles or a mile at the beginning.
I mean, I would say it's probably 70% of the equation. I mean, if you're going to eat crap and processed foods and cakes and cookies and all this, I mean, you're not going to have the energy that you need to become a sustainable runner. Whereas, if you start eating healthy, egg whites, and just being very conscientious about what you put in your body, the better you're going to feel and the further you're going to be able to go. I mean, it's not rocket science,
Mhm.
you know, and what works for me isn't going to work, probably isn't going to work for you, because everybody's bodies are so different. Their
Yeah.
metabolisms are different. Um, Ages, muscle mass, genetics, whether you have a issue with your thyroid, I mean, there are a million different variables. But at the end of the day, you have to do what feels best for you. And if somebody despises running, they're probably never going to love it. So find something else. Maybe you like cycling. Maybe you'll like doing, maybe swimming, maybe dancing. I don't know. But my advice is to just get moving, just do something every day for 20 minutes.
Yes. And soon you'll be really surprised by your results, right? And
Mhm.
no, that's wonderful. And for what is next for you? I mean, for your events and for your busy, your entrepreneur projects. So tell their viewers and listeners.
Yeah. So, I'm going to continue to work on Femme Founder and, continue to work with my group of clients that I have. And, I'm going to be going back to school in the fall, first, some more digital marketing and branding coursework, just because that's where our clients need support. So I'm going to be doing that and just really being able to focus on delivering more value to them. Because at the end of the day, if they're not happy, I don't have a business.
No. Oh my goodness. So that's another add-on to your many hats, so
Mhm.
that's why running and working out is so important. And but like speaking of which, are you going to be doing any running events or anything coming up?
Nothing professionally, I mean, maybe in May there's a 10K that's local, so I might end up signing up for that, but no marathons. I'm not like I don't like running in groups because I don't like people around me when I run. I'm just like that weird person that just goes and like solo running. Um so no, I don't have anything on this, officially on my docket. But I have endurance runs. Like I said, every Sunday, as long as the weather is conducive to it, and that's pretty much it.
Oh, that's wonderful. And is there anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah, like just don't be afraid of taking that first step and find out what you like, find out where you're skilled, and also don't be afraid to try out different types of workouts. Like, yes, I'm a runner, but I also do circuit training, huge circuit trainer. I also do a lot of high intensity interval training, and a lot of weightlifting. I hate yoga. I hate Pilates. I hate cycling. I hate swimming. I don't go near any of those things.
Mm.
So, and it took a while for me to figure out what I really loved outside of running. And, here we are.
Oh, that's wonderful. No, thank you so much for coming back on the show, and I'd like to invite you back.
Well, thank you so much for having me. And absolutely, I love talking to you and hopefully, some viewers and listeners can glean some insight from this interview.